So, as I told you, right? This is something like confirmation number or tracking number, right? So this is something which is a feature, not it's not necessary it has to be a defect. Okay. For time being, we we take it as this is not available, and and we should be added into feature application. Then it would be a feature, not a defect, because such kind of things, right? Confirmation number or tracking number, if it's there in the requirement, then we'll say, okay, this is a defect. If it's not there in the requirement, then we need to request for the respective business analyst. First, you need to check with your lead. After checking with your lead, then you need to check with the business analyst, saying that hey, this confirmation number is not showing up, but it's there in the requirement. Okay, so that will be more of a feature request if it is not there in the requirement document. Okay, so this is that is completely different, and this is something I didn't understood. Um, Okay, I'm not sure like how you understood this. I mean, this will be like in stock is 47. That means they have like 47 products. That means you cannot order more than that. Okay, so anything beyond that will be in out of stock or backlog. Okay, so it will be in the backlog, and if you want to order beyond this, it's not paid. Suppose not supposed to move forward. But we feature one or two. Because we don't have a lot of time. Okay, so this is a good defect. Okay, so this is what I was waiting for. Okay, not everyone open. So let's quickly go through that. This is what I was expecting. Okay, so when you click, see, first thing, when you hover your mouse to this image, it changes into hand cursor. So that is not expected, right? That is, I mean, you see, there is no URL for this image normally for these kind of things. Like, look at this, whenever you are hovering in this mouse, nothing happening. That's mouse cursor is not changing. But in this scenario, the mouse cursor is changing into hand cursor, and okay, so that's actually a defect. Okay, not very big issue or something. It can be good as a cosmetic issue. But when I click this, okay, it's going to the page. Uh, page not found. Page is not. So this is not something which customer expects. The customer doesn't need this, right? So what if you're trying to order a product and this shows up? So this is not a this is not a requirement, or this is not what it's supposed to show. So this is a defect. Okay, so this will be a defect either or not. Okay, so even if you check with the lead will say, okay, this is a defect, or they want to solve it by talking, not opening defect. It's a different story, but this will be a defect. Okay, and this shows actually this button shows button is the right place or in the left page. So it's showing as should be right. So this is good. I mean, the use of this button is to show the pop-up window and saying that it should be in the right, because this button is on the right, not in the left. So that's what it means. Okay. That's what. Okay, remaining. Okay, I check this homework. Okay. So yeah, that will be the same issue what I explained. So the $5 issue is actually issue. So no matter how you want to um, represent that issue, it will be an issue. Okay. So, okay, for the zip, right? For the say they might ship this, to international. So there might be international items too, right? So the zip code might change. Let's quickly check this. So this can be an issue. You're putting the special characters, it's accepting special characters. Okay. Um, if it is only in United States, okay. So the zip code is in the numbers. But if it is in the international, then there are alphabets in the zip code too. Okay, so they might ship for international, okay, so then the zip code will also be in the alphabet. So it's okay if they have this alphabets, but again, it's based on the complete requirement, not whatever the requirement says, based on that, we'll be opening the difference. Okay, so let's, check most of those. Let's move to the next topic, else we don't have much time. One more thing, we'll be checking this. See, one more thing, you guys should have been sure. Whoever didn't get the recording right, can send me an email. So it's manu@itamerica.com. So I'll add them in the list. Okay. So whoever didn't get any recordings or homeworks. Okay. So we'll be taking in future. Okay. So here, one thing what I wanted to note, one more defect here, which I don't think anyone open. So when you're using this, right? Just use Firefox. Chrome has some little bit funky, so we'll just use this. Okay. So here let's say instead of numbers, instead of digits, you're using some characters. Okay, that's fine. Now there is a button called reset form. You see this? This reset form. This is supposed to reset whatever it is. It doesn't matter. It's like alphabet. It is like numbers, like decimal value, whatever it is. It's supposed to reset. So this is doing good. Okay, so this is good. So that I'm going to include. So let's open an IE. So IE will be having this issue, right? Let's say this -10. Okay, this is working good. Maybe they fixed that issue. Okay. So let's try. Okay. Here you go. See, in Firefox is good. It's behaving good. Of course, all the issues will be there in the IE. Now, when I'm using this, okay, this is numbers is good. But when I'm using instead of number and putting some alphabet or some decimal value 0.001, and I want to reset it, right? I want to reset it. I don't want this. If I put some, so this is the reset form. When I click that button, it's supposed to reset. You see this in Firefox, it did good. I put this number, A, and I click on reset form. It did. This worked fine. But in IE, that's not happening. right? So make sure you guys see, whenever you're trying to test this functional testing, right, you need to test all the browsers, not just one IE or one Firefox. No, you need to test all the browsers that are available. Okay, so except like, they will specify, unless they specify, okay, these are the browsers, you need to check, with them. So how are you going to test with IE? How are you going to test with Microsoft Edge? How are you going to test with Firefox, Chrome, Safari? Safari, you need to have separate Mac. Okay, you need to have that Apple Mac and install all those things. Okay, so all these browsers should be tested. In all the browsers, not just one or two browsers. So you just write the test case, done in one browser, that means you've done testing. No, that doesn't happen that way. You test all of the things. So here it's not working. See, this is a defect. This is a complete defect. Because it's working in Firefox. Just reset form and it's good. There's no issues. But the same thing, what I'm trying to do here is reset, but it's showing, I don't supposed to get this message. It's not my problem, it has to get reset. Okay. Let me quickly send the meeting invite. Okay, so that's those are the issues. Okay, so nobody actually opened that issue. It's working fine in Firefox, but it's not working in IE. That's an issue, right? I would take it with that is an issue. Okay, so they have to fix this issue. Okay, that might not get fixed in 1 day, 2 day, or maybe it might take some few weeks to 1 week, 2 weeks, and they might want to end up saying something. No, we are not going to test in IE. We are only testing in Firefox. Or they might end up saying, no, we are not testing in all the browsers. We are only testing in 2-3 browsers. That's it. That's fine. You open defects in 2-3 browsers. If they are saying something, no, don't do this, then don't do this. You have to open defects only what you are given to. Okay, so it's up to them. Okay, but still you need to open defects. Okay, that's the only way you can survive in the project. You need to open defects. Okay. Okay, so let's so let's say you have still obstructs here, right? Let's say you open defects. Okay, you have successfully communicated the defects. Got a project and the application, you have found many issues, but now you need to report that issue, right? Then you check with the lead and lead said, okay, open this issue. Okay, so you have successfully found an issue in an application. Then now you need to report that issue, right? You need to report or you need to write test cases. Okay, that has to be done before that. Okay, so everything. And now once it's done, now you need to report that issue. So now you need to use the test management tool. Okay, so any test management tool. Here I'm like showing you example for Rally. So Rally is a test management tool for Agile. Whenever you're using in Agile methodology, right? You can use Rally. So Rally is good. Okay. What is a Rally? Rally is a test management tool. Okay. So I'll be giving you access for this, the username and password by today. let's see, let's put that username and password. Okay, so the moment you enter this into Rally, right? So there are many, you know, projects. There are so many projects that goes on, right? I mean, see, this here only we have only 4, but real time you have plenty, or not just 1 or 2 years. It will be in thousands. Okay, so there are thousands of projects that goes on. So you need to find the right project which you are working on. So this thing, you need to check with your lead. Okay, where your lead or with your colleague, whoever is working with you, or business analyst or developer, whoever you are comfortable with, whoever you think they know the information about this. Normally, business analyst or product owner will be aware of this. So which project is this and which user story. Okay, so let's say you figured out the projects. That's number 4. Here we have this. Okay, let's click on that. Once you go into that project, okay, now we are in that project. So that project we are working in. Now let's say you have all these options: plan, track, quality, reports. Okay, let's go one by one. So plan, we go to plan and we check the user story. User story, what is the user story? User story is a requirement. So in Agile, it is called user story for the requirement. We call this, in Agile is user story. Click on that. Okay. So in this, again, you need to figure it out which user story will you be working on. Okay. So you need to know, because there are so many user stories, right? Let's check one. So let's say if it is this, so you have plenty of this. You keep on moving it, and just keep on the user story keep on coming. Okay, so there are a lot of user stories. So we need to figure it out which user story you'll be working on. Okay, let's say you figure it out and you check with your lead or with your with the developer, or you know which user story it is now. And let's click on this. Now this is the requirement. Okay. So this is not something which you will be writing. So this will be done by the product owner. Let me just okay. Now, now you have this simple requirement saying like this is the URL, and so it says like verify all the functionalities including. Okay, so they'll not tell you which kind of testing you have to do. It's a functional testing, or is it integration testing, or what kind of testing, we don't know. So we need to do all of them. Not exactly all of them, like we need to do at least functional testing, unless they specify. Okay, if they specify, okay, do smoke testing, or do integration testing, or do SIT, system integration testing. But otherwise, we'll be doing the complete functional testing. So each and every functionality of an application will be testing. Okay, so here it's the requirement you have simple and very understandable. So in real time, you will not have a simple requirements. This is pretty simple, and I gave you a screenshot to make it easy for you. But in real time, this user story is being accessed by project manager, product owner, developers, testers, architects, managers, senior managers, everyone. So that user story will not be simple, because everyone has to understand, right? Everyone has to understand, everyone has to read that information, what is there, and to go through it. So that user story will not be simple. You have a lot of information there, but as far as tester is concerned, you need to understand what is the gist in that information. So there is a lot of information there, and doesn't mean that it has to do everything with your testing. It has to do with the developer, it has to do with the architect, scrum masters, everyone. So don't expect very easy information there. Okay, so You need to figure it out. Once you read all the information, you'll be going through and you'll be having better idea. Okay, so here I made it simple. I have put this screenshot and so this is the user story. Now if you come to the left side, okay, so you have this task, defects, test cases. Okay, so let's go to the task. So the reason you need this task, right? Let's say you're doing more than one project. Okay, in one project you're actually doing like let's say you're doing like 3-4 testing, like 3-4 testing, like functionality testing, you're doing regression testing, and you're doing you're also doing integration testing. So in that case, right, you need to put task. Why? Because you need to let them know like how much time will it take to complete. Okay, so let's create an sample task. So to create a task, and just go to the actions, hover your mouse over the actions, which is located in the upper right corner, create a new task. Okay, and we put as let's put as functional testing. So I'm working only on functional testing, and I'll put this. Okay, and on top tags, I'll put this tag. I'll put this tag as Gym Online. So this is the description. Right now. If there is an attachment, you can put an attachment. The owner is always tested for this. Okay, put as you define. If it is, say if you are working in future project, then you can put as defined. But most of the time, you will not be in a future project. Okay, you'll be working on the current project, so it will be in progress. Okay, and if you're ready to execute it, put as estimate. So here you're trying to say like it will take like 10 hours, and to do is 10 hours. That means you have just started it. Okay, so estimation is 10 hours, and if you want to expedite it, you can click on expedite, and if there's any notes, you can add some notes, and save and close. So now you have created a task. So task is only to organize your work. Let's say you want to organize, you have sets of work, like you're working on integration testing, you're working on functional testing, you're working on performance testing, you're working on regression testing, so many things you're working on, like 3 to 4 testing. In that case, you want to create test cases for that. And when you're trying to create the test cases, okay, you want to organize how much time will it take to execute each and every test cases. So in that case, you will be just putting 10 hours. That means 10 hours is left. Okay. So that's the why you need this task. Okay, so yeah, somebody asked, right, how long will it take to, so how do we know how much time will it take, right? That's a good question. So you will, all this you'll be discussing in this Scrum meeting. Okay, so you'll be having this sprint planning. So you'll be discussing like how much time will it take. So normally you don't take more than like 5 hours. Normally the value is like 5 hours, 5 to 10 hours, but you don't go beyond that. Okay, so that's average value. Okay, but all this will be discussed in the sprint planning. So because you need to check, so because they will be saying anyway, so because in sprint planning session, right? So everyone, so developers, testers, and scrum masters, everyone will be sharing the information, saying like how much this user story will be taking, how much we are putting an effort on that, and how much time will it take to the release. So all these things will be discussed in that meeting. Okay, so here I'm just putting as a just as a convenient value as like 10. Okay. So this can also be changed. Sometimes you can add it, and sometimes if they are lenient about it, you can add because you said like you want to add 2 more test cases for this, so something like that. So you can change it if they are lenient, but otherwise you need to be sure on this one. Okay, so that's about the task. Okay, so any questions in this? So let's you have this test case. Let's go to the test case. Okay. So here you have this in the left side, right? So you have this all these options here. So go to the test case, and again to create a test case, hover your mouse over the action which is located in the right side of this corner of the page, and go to this actions. You don't have to click even this, just hover your mouse and shows up new test case. Okay. And once it shows up, now you need to add some okay. We'll just put as okay test. So there is a naming convention. Okay, so whenever you're trying to write a test case, right, you have to write a test case with an naming convention. So let's say if you are testing the functional testing, so writing the functional. Okay. No, sometimes they have to also have this project name, so you can add this project name. So here I'm adding here, but in real time you don't have to add this one unless it's a critical issue or critical test case which you're writing. So if you're writing for production test case, then you can update here instead of your name and put as production test case or something like that. Okay, so this is my personal opinion. So you don't have to do that or something, but this is something which is I do it because to make sure I'm able to access the test case easily or that issue easily. So that's why I use this star mark to make sure that's a critical issue or production issue, and that's the most important which I need to take care. Okay, so this is the naming convention you need to follow. Okay, so functional testing which you are doing testing, and the project name which you are working on. Okay, so that's tags if you want. There will be also tags. You can add the tags, and we'll write here testing the functionality of an application. Okay, so you can write this and just put as attachments if you have any attachment. But the owner of the test case is always a tester. Okay. See, normally it will be yourself if you're working. Sometimes if you're working in big corporation, right, like Google or Amazon. In that scenario, you are assigned only to write test case. In that case, there will be some other person who will be testing it, and your job is only to write test case. Only from morning to evening, just you write is only test case. In that case, okay, so the owner of will be different. Okay, the owner will be because you are writing, someone is writing the test case, and somebody will be testing that. Somebody will be executing it. So all those things. So in that case, it will be the different tester, but always the owner is always the tester, not a developer. Okay, because if you're writing a test case, the owner is the tester, and the project which project you're working on, make sure which project it is, and click on that. If you want to expedite it, you want to move it quickly, then we check mark it. Now we'll just put it here. And objective. So what's the objective here? To test. Okay. To test all the functionality and features of the GMO online application. Okay. So when you work product, so you want to see which work product, which user story. So normally this is user story. Which user story does it belong? You can change your user story. That's called work product. You'll be having this lot of user story here. It's at 373. It can be a defect. It can be anything. So normally the user story. So here we have the default option. So we just put as default here. And what is the type? So what kind of testing are you doing? Are you doing acceptance? Are you doing functional, performance, regression, usability, or user interface? So for now, we'll just put as functional here. And priority. So there is like two things. Okay. So for now we'll just priority. Just put as important. And then method. So if you are doing regression, this will be automated. Else it is manual. Okay. And risk we just put it here. Okay. So preconditions. So before while testing, what are the preconditions for this? So like we put it as like smoke testing should be completed. Okay. Before that there is one more. Code should be deployed in QA environment. So to test this, these are the preconditions. Without doing this, you cannot test it. Test any applications or anything. You cannot go ahead and test in a developer environment, right? You can't do that unless specified. Okay. You need to use this. Okay. And smoke testing should be completed. Let's say if this project requires smoke testing, then it should be completed. And anything else? Does anyone remember anything else? Yes. Okay. So now we are actually writing here the test case. Okay. So you have this validation input and validation expected result. So that's kind of like what is the input and what is the result, expected result. Okay. So input will be adding as. So we will be specific in the Chrome browser because we are writing test case for the Chrome browser. Okay. Let's say we are writing. So you have to write test case for the Chrome, Firefox, Internet Explorer, Microsoft Edge, IE. Again, you have this various versions for IE, IE10, IE11, Microsoft Edge, okay, Firefox, Chrome, Apple Safari. So all these test cases you have to write. Okay, you can copy and paste. You can do that, but all this should be completed. So let's say enter URL. So it's the URL here. In the Chrome browser. Okay. And what's the result? So home page of GMO Online should be displayed. Okay. So this is the input, validation input, and that's the expected result. Okay. Now you need to add more steps. Okay, this is just an input. We are just trying to put an input and result. Now you need to add more steps to this. To add more steps, now you have this option steps. You see this step. Beside that, there's an icon. There's an action step. Add action step. Click on that, and here there's a drop-down box. You see this drop-down box? Yeah, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That means if I click on one, then the one field value displays, and if it's 5, then 5 boxes, 5 fields get displayed. So I'll stick to 1 and click on 1. Okay. Now, okay, here you got input and expected result. Okay. So let's go one by one. So let's write test case for So let's say I'm trying to test for this button. Only I'm just trying to see only one flow. But there are many flows. As I told you, right? There's negative testing, there's positive scenario, there's multiple, so many things. Here I'm just trying to see only the one flow. I'll be going only the positive scenario for now. Okay. So let's say now you need to click this button, right? So what you will be writing is click on enter Gym online button. So what's the page that is displayed? Online catalog page is displayed. So what is that is online catalog page, or say page is navigated to online catalog page. Okay. Now I need to add more steps. Okay. And again, you can click on this the same location where you have the steps, and behind this there is an icon, right? Beside that there is an icon, add action step. Click on that again. Click on again 1, and you have one more box. Okay. Now this. Okay. Now you have this second box, right, or second field value. Here you need to fill up this information. So let's say let's say I'll put this 10. Okay, so I'll put this 10, and so what I'll enter is here. Enter the value for the value 10 for 3% dome 10. Okay. The value 10 for 3%. So let's be a little bit specific on this. Okay. The field and the order quantity enter the value 10 in the order quantity field for 3% dome 10. Okay. So what you are trying to say is you want to enter this 10 value here. In the order quantity, this is the order quantity, and this is the 3% dome 10. You are trying to put this value 10. Okay. And click on place an order button. Place an order. Better be more specific, because the more specific you are, the better you'll able to understand later, because when you try to execute it or someone else execute it, they have to understand, right? So you are more specific, then to help them or you to execute that easily. Okay, so what happens when you click this? So let's place an order. So it goes place an order web page. Okay, so page is navigated expected. And okay, so we have done this. Let's write one more test case. The same thing, now to write the test case, go to this icon, add action step, click on that icon, get this drop down box, click on one, you know, there is a one, and okay, so now here we have this issue, right? So this, you know, what we were going like a systematic order. So the test step was, you know, click on gym online, and the second step was enter this. Now, what happened? Like the box came in between. The field actually, you know, showed up in between. This is not our second step. Second step is like has become the third step here. Okay. So what you can do is to move this field to the down. Okay. So you need to move this to the down. So how you do this? You know, you have this. This is the field. No, this is the field, right? This is the box where you need to, you know, over your mouse and click on this add action step. No, just beside that action menu, click on that, and just here it says like move step up, move step down, remove step. You just put move step down. Okay, now it's good. Now it's no, it's an order because we don't want that as a second step. We want that as a third step because we are writing for the third step, right? So this is how you can move that step down. Okay, once you get this, um, now we just put as, you know, click on proceed with order button. Okay, and proceed with order. What happens is, you notice this all everything is changing here, even the URL changes. So you can also write for separate for URL for this scenario. So we are not, you know, worried about that one. So okay, so page is navigated to billing information page. Okay. Okay. So let's grab this. Okay. Now again, if you want to again add a new test case, you can go ahead and click on this action step. And so now we don't require that one because, you know, we saw an issue that it's showing up in between. That is not, you know, something we want. Okay, so we want like the third step. Now it should be a fourth step. So in that case, right, just, you know, you can use this option here, like this is which is located in the, you know, right side of this. You know, click on this add action step. This has for every box or every field. You see this add action step. So you can add any step in between. Okay, so we want after this third step, so it should be fourth step, right? So I'll go ahead and click on this add action step, which is located in the right corner of this field. Right, click on that, and again it has this option 1 2 3 4 5. I'll stick with 1. Okay, and now this is my fourth step. Now what I'm trying to do is like, you know, fill all the information. Place the order button. Okay, Expected is who's expected? It's going to the visit, online visit, right? So click on that, you just check it. Yeah. Online store receipt, okay? So it is okay. So we are so I'm just showing you an example here. Okay, so don't take this as a, like only this, because see, there are so many things that need to be tested here. Okay, and um, you need to know this. This the color of this, and if there is a requirement, you need to validate against that. Okay, so you can write that in this test case. Okay, so also validate the color, validate the header, validate the footer, all those things. Okay, so here we are just keeping it simple. And okay, so this is for test. Let's write one more test case here. Again, you can go ahead and click on the add action, which is located in the box, the right side of this field. Click on that. Click on one. Okay, and now we'll just try put in the enter. And so we just want to return your home page. Online store receipt. Okay, click on return to home page button. Return to home page button. Okay, expected is page is navigated to home page. Okay, and let's check that. Yeah, it's going to the home page. Okay, now we write this post conditions. Okay, what is the post condition? So code should be deployed to production. Okay, and anything else you guys remember? What is the post condition of this after the testing is completed? And if there's any notes, you can add these notes and click on save and close. Now you have actually successfully written a test case, and this shows in this test case, which is located in the right, sorry, left toolbar or this left sidebar, right? This is a sidebar. Okay, and this is located here. Click on test case, and this is the TC. So this is the ID TC223. TC is the test case. Okay, and what is the name? What is the name we have written for the test case, and what is the work product? It means user story. And what is the type? Is it a functional? Is it a regression? It is a acceptance, so on. What's the priority? So priority is important. Owner is always a tester. Maybe some other team or yourself, your colleague. Of course, you'll not do for your colleague, right? So you'll be doing maybe some other team. Might be okay, some other team. Method is manual. Okay, and project. Which project does it belong to? Any questions so far? And if you want to check your work, click on that name, and it shows up here. Okay, so we have redone this test case. So this is how it should. This is how it looks like. Okay. Any questions? Okay, good. So yeah, I mean, I'll be giving you access by today. By today evening, you'll be having this access. So you can practice it. Practice it and make sure you don't get used to the tool. Okay, so whole my point of explaining this QA class is, you should not get used to the tool. Get used to the process, not to the tool. That means what I'm trying to say is, like, you need to write the test cases, you execute the test cases, report this, all those things, but not to the tool. The interface might be completely different. We don't know. Okay, in the project, when you're going to the project, you may not use this tool. Trust me, you may not use, or you will be using it. I don't know. Even client doesn't know. They want to migrate it everything to different thing. To get used to that, you need to adapt to that, change. So they might change. So many things happen, right? So get used to the process, not to the tool. So I didn't get this question. Like, we have checked that software, didn't found the bug. I didn't get, like, what is the question actually? So this is like, this is, we are trying to, we are actually trying to, create a test case here. Okay, we are not doing anything here. We are just, trying to create a test case. Why you need to create a test case? Because you need to document, right? Tomorrow, your boss comes up and shows, okay, where's the test case for this? Where did you write this test case? Okay, how many test cases? Why have you written these many? You need to answer those questions. That's the reason you need this test case. Okay, let's quickly, we have less time. Now we have created this test case, right? Now you need to execute this test case. Now just writing that is not enough. Writing is not enough. You need to execute this. You see this icon which is located in the right side of this test case. You see these three icons here. One is the result. One is to edit this test case. You want to edit it, you can edit it. And the last icon is copy. So if you want to copy this test case and make it your own, make sure when you're trying to copy it, just make sure you remove some of these items, like copy off doesn't look good. You don't want to show others that you're trying to copy someone else's test case, right? You don't want to show that you're copying it. So just make sure you remove it. Okay. So I keep telling to people, and people keep doing that same thing. It's not good. You don't put this copy off and just say, okay, you copied the test case. Yeah, everyone copies it, but you don't want to show it, right? You don't want to put that. Okay, so make sure you change that whenever you're trying to copy some test case from any, you feel free, you can copy anything, and you can put it in your writing homework, but make sure it looks good. I mean, I don't want something which is like copy of, okay, you copy from somewhere, where did you copy? Those kind of things. Okay, and this is edit. If you want to edit this test case, you can click on edit button, and here you can okay, edit this here. What we have written, you can add more steps here. You can change something. Okay, so whenever you can do that. This again. Now you have this result. So you need to create a result for this test case. Okay, so click on that button. Now build. Okay, so you need to fill up this information. So put as build. So we put build as 20. I mean, the build depends. Like it's based on like what build you are working on. Okay, which it's like there's a lot of things going on, right? So many code gets deployed in one day. Okay, so which build we need to check with your lead, or you need to check with your colleague, or check with your manager or someone, and update this build. Okay, verdict is passed, fail, or inconclusive. So just press pass. And tester, who is the testing, so it will be you. And attachment, make sure you have this attachment. Okay, so we did like talk about this attachment. So attachments, whenever you're testing it, let's say you've executed all this, right? You have opened a defect. Whenever you execute it, you need to put the screenshots. Okay, you put a screenshot. Let's say let's put as let me give an example. Okay, so here I'll just use this. I'm using MS Word. Let's say MS Word is easy, and I put this. Let's take a screenshot of this and paste it here. And I want to remove some of this. So I definitely don't want that bar to show up. So let's put this. Okay. And let's check this. So I'm using MS Word. Okay, so just use Word. Okay. So you need to put screenshot for every page what you are working on. So next, you're clicking on this, place an order, click on that, take a screenshot, so make sure you're doing this screenshot, put it here, if you want to edit, you can edit it, or if you want to put it the same way, you can put it, and put this on the next page, okay, save it. So let's say you have put for every page, okay, and this, now you need to attach this, showing that no. The reason you need this because you will be having your boss request you to so, when your boss check your work, they'll be having what have you tested and what were you doing, that's good. So you need to have this. Okay, duration, let's say we have taken only 5 hours. And you just put some information here. Successfully just put as functional test cases for GMO online. Okay. Okay. And now what you do is that click on save and close. So the moment you close this, the moment you save it and close, there is an icon shows up here, the plus icon. You see this nearby? This was not there before, TC223, right? Before this. Now the moment you executed this test case, this shows up. And when you click on this, this shows okay, successfully executed all the functional test cases for GMO Online. So the small statement would be good. Don't write like plug that, hole, putting that, there's a defect, 4 or 5 defects, don't, clock all the information here. It's only for small information saying that is it completed or is it not. Okay, what is completed? Functional test cases. Is it performance? Put it performance. Is it regression? Put it regression. If it is integration, put it integration. Okay, small information that is completed or failed. Okay, and if you want to edit, you can edit this too. Click on this. So the moment you see this, you have this file, so they can download it and view what you have been executed. Okay. So this is how you can, execute a test case. Any questions so far? Tomorrow we'll cover about these defects. Okay, so I'll be giving you homework. Okay, write a test cases for this. So I'll be giving instructions. So, so yeah, one more thing, actually forgot to explain. So one more defects that nobody has opened. Um, See here you see this copyright 1997. So this is not 1997. This is 2016. See this? It's 2016. It's not 1997. So this is an issue. This is actually the serious issue. So let's say if you are in a healthcare project and if you didn't catch this issue, then it's a compliance issue. It's a compliance issue, and this is taken very seriously, because you cannot have an outdated website, putting from last past 10 years, showing that that this is, it's not a copyright. So see, this is, they have just put here the information, but there's a lot of things goes on back of this. They need to have this certificate. Okay, they have to this certificate installed, in the server, and this, a lot of things they have to purchase a certificate. Okay, just by updating here doesn't mean they have just updated it. Okay, there's, a lot of things goes on at the back end. Okay, so this should be, this is an issue. Okay, in finance, maybe they don't care, or they don't want to use it. That's a different story. But in healthcare, they have to follow this compliance. So this will be a federal compliance. You need to follow this compliance. So you cannot just leave it 1997 and that will be a bug. Okay, it might not be a big issue, but still is an issue. Okay, it's not supposed to show 1997. We are in 2016. So this website should be get updated. Right? This is one defect. So this was defect which is right in front of the web page, and nobody saw it. So make sure you guys So I'll be giving you last homework once by next week. So the guys who didn't do well here, then they can do it. They have one more chance to do it. Okay. So, okay. So tomorrow we'll cover about the defects. We'll go through this each and every, we'll create the defects, and we'll just go through it. So today, by today, we'll be, you guys need to work on the homework. And any questions? Okay. So if no one has any questions, can we close this class for today? Okay. Yeah. Thank you guys.